What is going on, guys? Welcome to another Dent Digest live show. I've got special guest here, Dave Fisher. What's going on, Dave?
Hey guys, how's it going?
So, I want to get into a couple things before we get into Dave's little interview here, and I'm going to pick his brain and stump him a little bit. But we usually get into last week's show. We had Jason Huddleston on about the PDR media trainer. So if you guys haven't signed up for that yet, some really good information. He just loaded a couple more videos, so you've got to check that out. And we had the winner for the third person that signed up for the media trainer was Mike Crockett. So he won the Anson grab bag, glue grab bag is what I called it. So he'll be getting that in the mail. Anson was nice enough to donate some glue to where I can kind of give you guys some glue, and I have some tool giveaways coming up. So always tune in. It's going to switch up and change every week, and keep trying to give back to you guys. So I've got two tools. I didn't even tell Dave originally to bring tools on. I've got two tools I want to go over real quick. One of them's new, and there's a tool that I've been using for some time that I do like, that there's an update. So I want to go over that with you guys. The first one is the Carb Crown Knockdown. So it's a plastic knockdown with a leather tip. Igor came up with these. They do make a screw-on version too. I wanted to give this a shot and see what it was like. Price was, I think, $40. I'm a big fan of leather knockdown for crowns. It seems to hit a little differently. It doesn't really divot. So I'm super excited to try that. It's going to get beat up tomorrow, so we're going to see what it does. If it stinks, I'll let you know, but I think it's going to be pretty good. The other thing is the Willie Quick prop rod. I don't know if you guys know or not. So these things came out, and I checked it out at MTE, and it moves around just a little bit. There is just a little bit of movement in this lower section. So they came out with a fix. I actually talked to the father at MME, and he said it was already in the works. And what they have is there's an attachment to where you're going to replace this complete section, and it has a little bobber that's going to come down and kind of lock it down to where it won't move. I spoke to a tech that has the new updated version. He says it's awesome. It fixed everything that was wrong with this little bit of movement. So they are on their site. If you guys want to get the adapter for it, they did make it to where it'll work with the older ones. So just go to the Quick Willie's website or Willie Quick's website and get yourself one. I ordered it as soon as it came out just because I really do like using this thing. It's a really useful tool. It's easy. It's light. It sets up quick and easy. That was my biggest thing. Not as technical and difficult. I use it indoors too. They did come out with a shorter version. It's about this big for just doors, but I think this one is perfect. I like a little more room in there anyway when I'm working on a door. When I drill those big 1-inch holes in the side of the door. So Dave's getting into this whole media game, and it's funny. I was on another show, and Dave would watch that show, and we would talk periodically about different stuff, and we'll get into Dave's story. I don't want to get crazy, but Dave has put a lot of energy into trying to figure things out. And what really turned me to really open my eyes and look at what he was trying to do was, we were at Mega Media. We're having this conversation with 40 or 50 people out there, all these different apps and different stuff and different ways of doing things.
MTE Vegas.
Yeah. And MME. You surprised me at Mega Media event too, because we spoke about it the one day, and that same night we were at dinner and things are going, Dave Fisher is blasting out photos and videos. And So don't sleep on Dave Fisher.
Mhm.
So what you've got something you want to bring on that you've got there, not so much a tool, but a tool in a different way. So why don't you talk
It's a
about that?
tool. It's just not for dents.
Exactly.
This is my new purchase from listening to Mike Toledo and Ryan and Canon M50 with a mic. And I also got into the new Osmo DJI stabilizer for my phone. Since Mega Media last year, I've switched completely to an iMac, an iPhone, cameras, GoPros, and it's a big change, a big learning curve. I got Photoshop. I have no idea what to do with it, but I
Me
have it.
neither. Me neither.
So I'm trying to learn all that side of it and looking at even a night class at the community college for Photoshop. So
But you're gonna have to teach me because I don't have a clue either.
I'll work with you.
So, what's your plan with that camera and stuff?
Um, the camera will shoot in 4K. I bought it mainly for video. I want to learn setups and lenses for still photography. What we get out of the Mega Media event is just blows me away, and I would like to be able to do that more than once a year. I don't know that this is quite the camera that David Rickett has, but
Oh no.
it still is better than my phone, I would imagine, for
Yeah.
tripod photos. So that's my main goal, just to keep that flow going instead of editing the dozen photos we get and putting them out and then having nothing for a year. So that's my goal for the camera.
So, are you planning to build a YouTube channel?
I think that I need to. I have not done anything with YouTube. I have a couple of videos out there, but I haven't, and I have to learn that as well.
It's not too bad. You can figure it out. You can
Yeah,
figure. I know you can figure it out. So, it's YouTube definitely helps with your SEO.
yeah.
Certainly in direct areas,
Hmm.
there's a lot of tricks that you have to do to, like in titles and description, and that
Yeah,
really help. And it's not a lot of times you look back and I'm like, this isn't the coolest title, but it's going to help. You know what I mean? It's going to
yeah.
help the business. And I think in your area, with it being you're kind of on the outskirts,
In the
um,
weeds.
so you kind of have to make it to where you're going to stand out.
Yeah.
And,
And
and
I'm the
Chris
only
Ray,
shop in 50 miles that has even a YouTube or sorry, a Google posting list, you know?
yeah. And Chris Ray used to tell me all the time, you need a YouTube, you need a YouTube. And I'm like, I don't need a YouTube, man. I'm old school. I don't need it. He's like, I get work from it all the time, and I have got jobs from YouTube. So, it's definitely I call it YouTube University. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm on
Yeah.
YouTube all the time. How do you take this sun visor out of here?
Yep.
How do you take this
I do
grab
it.
handle? How do I fix a dent like Mike Toledo? I mean, I go right on there. You got to.
How do you use
So
these stupid lines?
well, we're not going to get into the line talk because I can't see a damn thing. So, let's get into your story a little bit. How did you get into paintless dent repair? How did the logo come about? And we'll get into that whole story with your logo. And let's get into it a little bit.
So I started right out of high school at my uncle's body shop. I came into it in the era of D-Lam Ford trucks. And for 2 years, all I did was sand trucks to bare metal, and we repainted them. I was in the collision industry almost 20 years. Um, Ended up taking over my uncle's shop after 7 years. He retired. I took over the shop. The landlord said I was a young punk, wouldn't let me stay, so we had to move it across town, drag a frame machine and a spray booth and dig a pit and put in gas, and it was a big project. And I ran that shop for 3 years and got an opportunity to be a nationwide insurance adjuster. So I closed my shop, worked for Nationwide for 3 years, and hated it.
Really?
Being a corporate number was all it was. I was good at it. I, had the background to just walk in to do it, but just didn't like it. So I missed the hands-on. So I got an opportunity to manage a Chevrolet dealership body shop. I started doing that. And 5 years into that, my town got hit with hail, and the local dent guy, Rich Moore, was buried. He had Mr. Sullivan of the Sullivan PDR estimator up to his shop from Tennessee helping him. They were camping out in the backyard with a camper. And I called Rich after 3 weeks of sending him 3 cars a day and said, can I come out and help you circle dents, pull headliners, write estimates, anything I can do? And after about 5 minutes of us talking, he said, so let's get cut to the chase. When are you going to start pushing dents? And I said, I'd love to. So for 3 months, every night from 5:30 after the shop until midnight or 1 o'clock, I stood on a stool beside him and watched him push roof dents and did a few small used car jobs to keep busy and keep him freed up. And he would come down and check on me, and then I'd stand beside him some more and watch. And we finished that storm in about 3 months, and I went back to the dealership and started doing their used cars in the body shop on their late nights for free for 3 months. I did cars just to practice, pulled them in, did what I could, put them back out front. And then the first of the year, I bought a set of tools, got a route, and headed north. And that's where I ended up, is where my shop is now, was part of my route.
Oh, no.
So that shop asked me to be part of them, and they built me a stall. And I'm working in a body shop that was one of my customers, that was my biggest customer. So now I do a lot of work for the body shop. I do retail work for customers off the street. I do a lot of zero hit the front and roll down the side, and I'll save a blend panel.
Yeah.
So the body shop keeps me busy too. As far as my logo, when I started doing this, winters here in PA are always slow, just because nobody wants to fix a dent when they got salt stains up to their door handles. And I started doing hydrographics, and I called it DIT. And I turned that into Dent Industry Professional Technician, so I could continue with the logo, and that's where that came about.
How long have you been pushing dents?
I started pushing dents 4th of July, 2011.
Okay.
So just over 7 years.
You pretty much just taught just by watching him and working with him side by side.
Yeah, he started doing this at the Mannheim Auto Auction and was able to fix a dent after years. He started with the Dent Wizard.
Okay.
And he was only with them for 2 or 3 years and got out, and after what you go through, he started his own company. So,
hey,
so he had official Dent Wizard training school that he had to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Dent Wizard literature and books that he gave me to review at night. And he started me out. He sent me home with a shoebox covered with tin foil with one side cut out. And he drew dots on it. And he wanted me to take a knockdown and touch the dots without making a mark in the foil to test my hand-eye coordination. He had me do that for 2 nights. And I don't know if that's a wizard thing or.
It's similar. It's not so much a shoebox, but it's the same concept.
So he went over some whiteboard stuff with me for a couple of days, and then, he just had me. He would do 10 dents, and I would try to do 1, and he would finish mine, and he would do 10 more when I tried the next one.
Yeah, that's where Shane is right now. He's got the same problem. He's like, "You just did a whole hail car, and I fixed 5 dents in a trunk lid," and I was like, "Yep, but you're still a little low on that one right there." So, you mainly learn from another tech. When did you really decide to start your own company?
Well, I worked for him as a subcontractor for 2 years. And when I started dipped and started doing hydro dipping at home, that's when I created a new business checking account, EIN number. And I did that, 2 or 3 months. And he said, if you're already set up, just go do it. He said, there's no sense you running around with my invoices he treated me very well. I was a subcontractor, and he kept 15% of whatever I did to do the bookkeeping,
Mm-hmm.
and anything else I made, So it was not a huge profit for him, and it was just easier for us to part ways. He's like, "That's the American dream, man. That's what I did. So go do
Yeah.
it."
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. That's you couldn't ask for a better way of getting into the industry. So you
Yeah.
were doing the hydro dip stuff and paintless dent repair kind of at the same time.
I was I got into hydro dipping to keep me busy in the winter,
Yeah.
and realized that it's not the profit margin of pushing dents. So
Yeah.
I've never done it officially as a business. It's more of a hobby that I have here at my house. Um, I've done probably less than $1,000 of retail hydro dipping in 5 years.
So you still have all the equipment
I have
and
all the equipment. I made my own sign with it, and dipped the carbon fiber onto it. Did some promotional mugs,
yeah,
the
that's
Yeti
cool.
cups,
Yeah.
So
It's so you've created the company. Where are you then? So you're like, okay, we're doing the hydro dipping in the winter. We're getting into the paintless dent repair. Started to grow your company. Where were you at that point?
well, at that point, I was still my biggest customer at that point when I started was still the Chevy dealership that I used to work at, and I would be there probably 3 days a week at the dealership doing paintless dent repair. I was doing the whole used car, spotting in bumpers, buffing cars, striping cars in a separate building from the body shop. And then the body shop saw the money that I was doing, and they decided they wanted that. So they kicked
Of
us out of
course.
that stall, and took over the used car work. And that's when I started concentrating more where my shop is. And instead of doing paintless dent repair, instead of doing the hydro dipping in the winter, the shop that I'm at now, I started working for them in the winter as an estimator when I didn't have dents to do. So
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 days a week, I would go there in the winter, and if I had a dent to do, I did it, and if not, I would estimate cars for them on the clock. And then
So
I told them I was looking to open a shop, and they said, "We don't want you to go anywhere. We'll build you a shop." So that's how I'm there.
so when you were in that process before you got into the shop, what was your biggest struggle? What was your trials and your tribulations there? What
It
were you
was
really
just
struggling?
consistency, finding. I mean, where I lived was near the guy I used to work for, and he had two other guys as well, and they had all of Butler handled. So the only shop I had in Butler was Kelly's, was the dealership that I had worked at. So I was driving up to where I am now, an hour north of home, trying to find shops up there, and there's a local dent wizard that has that area pretty well covered.
Yeah.
So just finding consistent work was my biggest struggle.
Okay. So you get into the shop, they say, "Hey, we're going to build you a shop. We're going to work together." Dave's been the two mega media events. What when you were getting ready to build up to get into the shop, what helped you get through that process? Was it the mega media event?
Definitely. Just when I went to the Mega Media event, October of 2018, the day before I left, I knew 4 dent guys, and now I know 60, and I'm friends or relationship online with hundreds.
Yeah, Tinder.
So just seeing, yeah, Tinder.
Now it's called Dinder. Dent guy Tinder.
Just
Oh,
meeting and seeing what these other guys are doing and the possibilities. And when I worked for Rich, he has zero online presence. He doesn't have a phone book ad. He was only knock on door wholesale accounts. Nobody around me has. He did have a retail shop
mhm.
that he did cars at, but most of them were car dealers brought them to him more than he was getting customers. He did do customer work, but nobody around here does that. And I had never thought of that. I only knew the industry as used car lots.
Yeah, wholesale.
And I personally have no desire to do that.
I'm the same way. I actually had a conversation with a dent guy today, and he was like, you only service one or two dealers? And I was like, yeah. He's like, why? And I was like, $45 a panel, drilling holes, working on crap stuff. The old Hondas with the belt molding that gets all over your hands and all over your tools. And it's not for me. It's just, I did it for a lot of years, and it's just not for me. You know, I say this all the time. I said there's a lot of levels of dent guys. There's hail guys, there's route guys, you know, there's mobile guys, there's retail guys. There's a lot of different elements to our industry now that it wasn't there before. Like when I first started, I worked for Dent Wizard. They had a retail location in Maryland, but there was not a whole lot of other dent guys in town, and there wasn't any other retail locations throughout the state. And it seemed to change. They closed the retail location down, and it kind of was leveled out. And now there's retail locations popping up all over. So I do see a change in the industry in that way of guys are realizing, for one, this larger damage takes longer.
Mm-hmm.
I tell customers all the time, I don't want to take your car apart in your driveway. I always say, well, what if I lose a clip or lose a screw or a clip breaks? And, you know, that's always my excuse to a customer that wants it mobile.
Yeah.
You know, and it's cold.
Yeah.
You know.
And coming from 20 years in a shop, and that's what I, thanks, Lee.
So Dave, let's get into that real quick. Dave is wearing Mary Toledo, which is Mike Toledo's wife's shirt that she's doing a charity thing. And those shirts are awesome. It's a great slogan. It's a good t-shirt. It's comfortable.
Yep.
So if you guys want to get to that, go to Dent Time. You can order them right off of his website. It's going for a good cause. Mary's just a nice lady. I mean, she really is.
She really is.
And just, it's a good cause. And it's a cool shirt, man. You know, I can't even stand up again and show the guys a shirt. I mean, it's just a great, great t-shirt. So if you guys want one of those shirts, go to Dent Time and order it. She's getting them out pretty quick. Just do it. You know, good cause, cool shirt.
I did a Dents for Kids event this year, and this is just as good of a cause, a lot less effort.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work to put that event together.
Hey, you had a heavy hitter in there, Gene Fetty.
Yeah, he showed up to help. He's a good dude.
He is. He really is.
Yep.
He is. And he's making some good moves right now. You know, he's working with Kiko and Mobile Tech RX, and it's nice to see industry guys that have been a dent guy for a long time, has a good reputation, and get into that ream of the business. Because Gene's a hell of a explainer.
Yeah.
You know, he really is. He's
very knowledgeable, and he's willing to help anyone.
True. I mean, the Dent Reaper here is telling Cold, you don't know Cold.
Yeah, I talked to him today. It was 27, and he was out beating a panel. You
know, it's true. It's true. I can't complain. I'm in Maryland. You're in Pennsylvania. Well, you're actually in Pennsylvania. And he's in Minnesota. So I can't say anything bad about cold, but it's cold. It's cold.
Yeah.
You know, you hear Mike Toledo the other day. He's like, yeah, it's like 60 some degrees. I'm like, you got a parka on? I mean, it was just like Orlando last year. It was last year. And you see him with winter jackets on, and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And I'm like, this is amazing. So you went to the Mega Media event before we got off track. You went, was it last? It wasn't, it was last year, right? Was your first time?
3 and 4.
102 in Australia. Aaron, I think you better watch yourself, because I don't know if you guys saw it. If you follow Mike Toledo, I hope you do. Aaron left him a special package in one of his toolboxes. So I think
My
Aaron's gonna have
favorite
something.
snack.
He's gonna have something coming his way, Veggie Mike. Mike doesn't play games with his tools. So, so you went to Mega Media 1.
3 and
What
4.
was your what was your you're right, 4. What was your takeaway from 3? How did you get?
3?
Yeah.
It was just eye-opening, and to be in contact and meet people like you and Mike and John, just to stay in touch with these guys and talk to them, have a question. They're always there for you. Once you're part of the club, you're a club member forever. So,
Yeah.
This year, from last year, I was concerned about going a second time for repetitiveness, but they reviewed in 3 days about an hour of what we learned last year, and all new speakers, all new topics. It was eye-opening to see how much growth that event has, goes year to year.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go next year.
Now, did 3 help you that next year in the business?
Definitely, because it gave me the ideas of what my company could be to grow. I would have never thought to open a shop and be able to have steady work. And, I was still chasing used cars before I went to that.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from a shop background, I knew that's what I wanted, but I still don't have 40 hours a week full dents. I did just come off 5 months of hail, which kept me busy, but
Yeah,
I finished that up, and we were talking before the show. My shop is in Cranberry, PA, which is about 100 miles north of Pittsburgh. It's 50 miles north of my home. 20 miles south of my home is Cranberry Township. And the majority of my marketing, even though I say PDR Cranberry, PA, my calls are coming from Cranberry Township. And that's closer to my home, but it's an hour and a half drive to my shop. People don't want to do that. So I'm sending them to Gene Fetty because he's closer.
nice.
So I need to expand my market and either be mobile a couple days a week, or I'm currently looking for another shop in Cranberry Township for splitting my time until my end game is to train someone at my shop and leave them at that body shop and open a store in Cranberry. That was my original plan.
Yeah.
And this might speed it up now that I'm getting regular calls.
That's a good idea. I mean, we had this conversation at MTE, and you would show me like a Google map of where it was, and your area is kind of a unique area. So,
Yeah.
you
I
may
am
have
in
to
the mall location, and a mile in any direction is forest.
Yeah.
So I'm in the best spot I can be there. The shop that I'm in is 28,000 square foot. It's an old Busy Beaver lumber yard right beside Walmart.
Shoo.
They do 30 guys in the shop. They do big sales. They schedule 150 hours a day through that shop. They do 5 to 8 collision jobs a day.
Nice. How many techs?
30 guys.
Holy crap.
And it's not all techs. There's 6 admin. It's all split up. We do all that work with 2 body men, but they have tear down team, reassembly team, prep team, paint team, mechanic, frame guy, cleanup guys. It's all departments.
Yeah. The good thing is you can set your stuff up and leave it.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
So
That's
I have my own spot, and they supply me with a lot of work. I do almost daily something for them.
Do you do a lot of push the paint out of there?
I do, and I have next week scheduled a glue pull instruction for the frame and body guys. I'm going to teach them glue pull, and they'll be purchasing Kiko products
Nice.
so that they can get out of welding pins on, burn the corrosion protection off the inside, possibly catching a car on fire. And even if they just rough it in, it's going to speed them up. Just teach them how to use a light.
Yeah.
Instead
Now,
of
is
their hand.
Gene helping you?
Gene is not going to help me at that shop. I'm just going to work with those guys for a couple of days. I have everything that Kiko makes, so I can show them. But if it goes well, Gene and I are going to get together, and I'm going to promote this to local shops. Just like his class, I can bring them into my shop, put them right up on the frame machine, and show them how to pull a rocker.
Yeah. You know,
bring body guys in from.
It's scary. I remember it was me, Chris Ray, and Dave Shutt. And before all this really hit the tracks with the pull the paint, we were at Keystone. Keystone has a huge place here in Maryland, and it was a training seminar. And they had all these sales guys from the whole area. They had some shop owners, and I remember sitting at the back of the room. And these guys say, why are they here? This is going to put you out of business. And I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's going to put you out of business. We're all going to learn how to glue pull and just take it. I was like, if you can figure it out, have at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If they can learn it in 2 days, then it's the next person to hire.
Yeah, exactly. I tell guys that all the time. I'm like, people are like, do you mind if I watch? I'm like, no, sure. I don't want to make you nervous. And I'm like, it doesn't make me nervous. You know, I look at it as it's educating that customer to where the more they're intrigued with your repair, the more they're going to tell their friends at dinner or lunch or whatever.
Yeah. You won't believe what this guy did.
Exactly. Got Mr. Scott Grimes in here. Scott's going to be on in hopefully soon. We've got one of his paddles we're going to give away. I've had here for a little bit. Actually, I got it somewhere. It's actually right here. I don't know if you guys have seen one of these paddles. You can buy them on Edgy Tools. It's called the Paddle, and it has the knockdown built down in the lid of it. I use this thing all the time. So I did a review on it on my YouTube channel. It's a great paddle. So this one's going to be going up for grabs here soon in the next few weeks whenever I can get Mr. Scott Grimes on the show. He's a busy guy. And he builds some badass knives. So dude knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you went to Mega Media 3. You learned some stuff. You started growing your business. I started seeing your social media slowly grow.
Mm-hmm.
From there, where did you go? Were you just trying to grow the business slowly, trying to build your social media presence, kind of still build your relationships in this industry? And where were you headed from that point?
Well, once I came back from Mega Media and we put this idea of a shop partnership together, as I was growing that, I was an estimator last winter for them, doing dents when I had them. Mm-hmm. And then in March, we decided I was moving in. They gave me a stall, and I was busy March and April. And then Memorial Day, we got hit with hail, and I've been pushing every day since. And I haven't done much of anything else because I couldn't take on any more work. So now I'm slowed down. And now I have the winter to hopefully continue with a steady schedule as I build this.
That's good. I mean, you know, it just takes time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember, and I'll tell you, I actually brought Dave up at the Mega Media event when I was speaking. And Dave and I have talked on the phone, seen each other on social media for a long time. And then we were at, MTV Vegas. And I had a good friend of mine, Josh, with me, and he's nowhere near a dent guy. He's in a total different industry, and he just came for the ride. And you know, we were talking at the bar, talking. We went to dinner, Mark Blem, and you know, we had a really good time out there. And Dave's like, I was really thinking about rebranding myself, you know, changing my logo because nobody really understands what dipped is. And I was like, don't do it. You've got too much invested now. And Josh chimes in right away and he says, you're crazy if you change your logo because I've only known you for 2 days and I can remember it already. So, you know, you're still learning. You know what I mean? There's things in every logo that every guy that builds a company hates, isn't totally in love with, but you get to this point to where you've created this monster. And when you rebrand yourself, you're almost starting over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've put all this time into that thing. It's not worth it. You know, you just deal with it and work through it. I think you've done a good job. You know, your logo color, your uniform, all your shirts match. Everything's uniform. Everything works. You know, I've noticed your photos with the green and the, you know, like I said, when you really surprised me at the Mega Media event this year when every night you were back at the hotel and bam, I'm like, Dave is on fire. He is on fire. So, you know, it's you moved into your shop. I just saw it wasn't long ago that you put your sign up. You know, at this I saw pictures of it on like the bench when it was being built, but it is a awesome sign. I wish we would have had a picture to put it on the screen, but it is a badass sign, you know. So
and it's right at the entrance of Walmart. So
hey,
it's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
it's definitely not blue and white, so you're even better. You know, it's gonna stay. It stands out on that stand, on that sign stand. So you're in the shop, you're going through, and you're like, I think I'm gonna go to Mega Media 4 and see what it's all about. So you come to Mega Media 4. What did you take from that event?
Well,
besides my presentation on brownies.
Probably the biggest thing that I gained from that was I forget his name. I knew it until you asked.
Matt Moore.
Yes. Matt Moore with a shop and what he's doing. And then following the event at the airport, I got to sit with Andy Bell for dinner. And he has a shop as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just what this can grow into. You know, it's just me right now. I have aspirations to train a tech, to get somebody up front, to open a second shop, to open a main shop. And I would like to have multiple techs, and that's my goal. So being able to talk to people, seeing Cole Fox's shop, you know, I come from the body shop, so I don't really miss the dust and dirt of a body shop. But going back to my shop, even in 2000, I had looked into the Dent Bull for training for PDR. Yeah. And wish I would have done it then. I don't know why I didn't. I looked into it, priced it out. Probably wasn't going to be my best trainer, but I'd have got started 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
10 years earlier anyway.
You know, the Cole's shop it's every guy's dream.
Yeah. And not just what he does, how it was decorated, and it was just awesome. It was,
it was
every
perfect.
guy's shop.
He may be watching this saying, man, let me tell you, you guys didn't see the not perfect, so it's nice to see Cole because he's grown super fast too. I think he said his plan is to retire in the next 4 years. The guy's younger than I am. Yeah. And that's an awesome plan because I don't have that plan.
Yeah.
So, hard work does pay off. I've seen you grow, You know, you've put a
Oh, definitely.
shit ton of money and time into growing. I mean, you've got more tools than I have. You buy everything. You know what I mean? You spent a ton of money this year, and it was nice to hear when we talked a couple months ago. It was actually before MTE Vegas, on you're reinvesting the money you've made from this hailstorm directly
Yeah.
into the business, and
Whether
that's
it's
super great. You know,
tools or the sign or marketing. Yeah.
you know, and you know, it's nice to see a guy that's that passionate and detail oriented to try to put all the things together. You know, and you're right now you're in a great program with Hiley with his Megamind group.
Yeah. The mastermind program. We just had our
Yeah,
first meeting today.
you know, it's if you guys don't know about that, you know, reach out to John Hiley. I don't know how many spots are left. I know he had some.
It's full.
Is
He
it
got the last guy. He brought in one, but yet
nice? You know, it seemed like a pretty good program. I think the Dent Reaper
that's
signed up in it.
yes. Yeah.
You know,
That's a group of 10 of us that are going to meet online twice a month and meet in person twice a year and just hash out business,
yeah,
feed off each other. And
it's good. You know,
yeah,
it's like I said, it's nice that you're investing so much to try to push yourself to the next level. Because a lot of guys don't. A lot of guys just kind of ride it out, just kind of roll, and you're gonna lose because there's guys like you that are coming up in this industry faster and faster. You know, I mean, I've been in the business 18 years. You know what I mean? And I remember years ago I was like, I don't need Facebook.
I know.
Too much drama on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Oh yes, you do. Social media is
Well, it's
huge.
today's phone book. I mean,
Yeah. When you said phone book, I'm not in a phone book.
I know.
You know, I do zero advertising. I'm very fortunate to where I don't have to. But
Well,
it's
you
all
do zero
market.
paid advertising.
True.
Well, I
True.
guess advertising and marketing are two separate things. So yes, but
True. You know, Google AdWords or Yelp or how is Yelp in your area?
I I don't think it's relevant at all. They tell
Yeah.
me otherwise when they call me 6 times a
Same thing.
month. But
They
the
only
only
call you
thing that
6
I can
times?
see an advantage for Yelp that I was unaware of is if you say, "Hey Siri, where's this?" or "Alexa, tell me where to find a dent shop," they use Yelp, which I
Yeah.
was unaware of.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's see? Look at that.
Siri answered.
Free advertising. So you the mega media event this year was awesome. You know, I picked some stuff, you picked some stuff up, and I think everybody there picked some stuff up. I've had
Oh,
messages
definitely.
since we got back of guys that were there. What is your plan? So you are where you are in the business in the building. You're talking about looking for a facility in Cranberry, a little closer. Is your dream to have multiple guys are in a facility? Or you a dream of having guys on the road and you in the facility? What is your game plan there?
My dream, my plan is to leave the shop where I am. I'd love to leave the shop where I am with a guy in it so that they're taken care of up there. It's not where I want to be, but I already have an established business there. I might as
Yes.
well let it roll. If I can get a guy, even one of the body techs that work there, trained enough to handle that shop and anybody that walks in the door for door ding. And if I have to go up there one day a week and schedule the big stuff until they get, evolved, that's fine. But what my goal is to have a shop in the area, and I have a 21 and a 23-year-old that I would love to put even in an office. One is an estimator and one in marketing. They don't even have to learn how to do dents, but to let them take over the business so that it can continue once I'm done pushing and
Yeah.
just run the business. Let them handle the day-to-day. Let them have techs do the work. And, you know, my vision is to have a shop part of a strip mall with a Starbucks on one side and a Subway on the other. Most of our repairs guys are under an hour. And that way they can run and grab something, come back when their car's done. Have a storefront that I can put a car in, not a garage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I see for the high-end people that are going to pay for this and want a nice repair, not to walk into a dusty, dirty, dingy garage, but to walk in right beside Subway, hand me their keys, we pull the car around back, fix it, and bring it around when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
You know, it's hard. You know, it's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a big leap for a lot of us. You never know what the economy is going to do. And the sad part in our business is it's not a need, it's a
Correct.
want.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see a change in the industry of body shops are pushing it more.
Yeah.
Insurance companies are pushing it more.
And as we keep growing to bigger and bigger repairs, we can be the body shop.
100%. 100%. What Cole has there is the future.
Yeah.
You know,
if you handle anything that comes in the door,
those Axiom groups, the Ryan Hampton stuff, all that stuff, that is the future. It really is. It's the new age of stuff that's going to happen. You know, and there's ways of building them and getting them to where they are, to where it's an established body shop, kind of what you're in, and retrofitting it for the new platform.
Yeah.
But I think the social media, YouTube, online, the best part, we've just scratched the surface in this business in the education.
Yeah.
Because customers are learning. I mean, I did an old lady that found me. It was a job today that found me off of YouTube and never heard of it before.
Yeah.
She looked up dent repair in car in Maryland, and it came up in my area, and she never knew, you know. And the good thing, we were kind of got on the YouTube touch. YouTube is good for building your business, certainly for me, because when I go to the customer's house, they already know what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
They already feel like they have a relationship with me.
Yep.
And
then you don't have to sell it.
Exactly. I'm already the proven professional, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this at the Mega Media event. People want to deal with people, not corporate companies anymore. They do. They don't want to deal with corporate companies.
Yeah, and not just educating the people, the insurance industry.
Yes.
And I have such a relationship, and I know you do too, with body shops and actual adjusters. I mean, I've already had conversations with Nationwide, who I used to work for. We're a blue ribbon shop, about making me a direct repair. I mean, they're already doing photo claims. They can see the damage.
Yeah.
Send it over PDR. If I can do it, great. If not, you're already at a direct repair shop. If I can do the fender,
yep,
and they have to paint the hood, whatever, you know, we can do it all in-house.
100%.
So 100%. That relationship with a huge body shop is great on that side of it too. I'm doing a lot of insurance work. All the adjusters know that I'm there, and they're writing it before it even comes. They all have my price guide.
Yeah.
And, you know, I gave them all a laminated price guide, and they keep it in their car, and they're writing them in the field. They're writing them when they get there. You know, we disassemble every car, tear down, and write the supplement before it even goes into production. Everything is tagged, bagged, cleaned, and retaped, ready to roll. And that's another thing too, is all the estimators at my shop now have learned what I can do. And they're just writing it up front. Hey, Dave, you got another one? Hey, Dave. Or they'll ask me to come over. What do you think of this? Yep, I can do it. And we write it. They put it right on there. They mark it up 25%. I'm getting Mobile Tech RX plus 25. And then I give them a 20% discount. And off of the list already marked up. So I'm getting
Yeah.
full price and they're still making 25. So
Yeah, and I have a buddy that owns a couple body shops, and he'd rather do it paintless for a couple different reasons. You have time in the shop. Every time that
mhm.
car is in a stall,
Cycle
it costs
time,
money.
cycle time.
You have the customer, okay? You have color match to where you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about color match issues, so it's easy to deliver.
hmm
You have it's just a better repair. Warranty, you know what I mean? These guys have to when they go through the insurance company, they have to warranty that thing for life
Yeah.
that they own the vehicle. So now you're eliminating all of that, okay? And the shop physically dollar for dollar full profit number, they make more money that way
hmm
because
You
they
don't have to
count.
touch it.
Yes, yes, it's huge. And
Yeah.
you know me, I mean, I'm almost all body shop and retail.
hmm
So these guys get it. And I think a lot of times the estimators like it because it's less work for them. They don't have to sit here and put it in a computer and write a full estimate and
Yeah.
deal with
They
the
copy
customer,
mine.
sell them. It's done.
One line.
Yeah.
Sublet. PDR.
Yeah.
425. Click.
Yeah. You
Yep.
know, it's amazing the shift in the industry on that because a lot of times they were like, and I still have some shops to where they only call me when they have to call me and they keep everything in house. They don't believe in the paintless. They want to feed their guys. But I got that. I understand that. But feed your guys with profitable jobs, not the BS jobs. You're not
Yeah.
making a lot of money on a ding in a door
Yeah.
and then you have to blend the fender. You're not
Yeah.
making a
And
whole
take the
lot of money.
headlights and the bumper off and break the clips and order
Yes.
clips. And yeah.
Yes. You're not making much money. So
hmm
we're lucky that we've got that, edge of time and it's just a cleaner repair. That's as
Yeah.
easy as it is. So how can people reach you?
You can call or text me 724-991-9189. I'm on Facebook at Dipped PDR, Instagram dip.cool, my website dip.cool.com wasn't available. .cool was, so cool.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. So, some of these guys may reach out. I think people that don't know you should go to your social media and just look at the growth. Some of the photos you've been pumping out from this year's mega media, I'm like, that's awesome. You've done a good job. And for me, it's nice to see a guy like you grow, you know?
Yeah,
So
and that's what it is. It's just
I'm just
that.
the old guy here. We got John Scotto in here. I mean, he's 21 years in. He's
Yeah,
still figuring it out too,
yeah,
And the good thing in this industry, anybody that's watching this show, anybody that's on here, anybody in the industry, you can reach out to anybody and most of the guys are going to help you.
yep.
There isn't a whole
It's
lot of industries like that.
not even in the body shop. I mean, that
No.
was kind of like PDR 10 years ago. I mean,
Yeah, it's
everything's hush hush. You can't talk rates, can't talk anything.
yes. It's a very hidden thing. But we are very fortunate and anybody in here that has a question, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, Dave, whoever, keep the community going. There are a couple events coming up. You have the Stanliner event that's before MT Orlando. Me and Scotto are still putting together the East Coast Tech meetup. It's going to be at Scotto's shop. We're just trying to narrow down some minor details. Actually, Scotto's been in 27 years. Look at that old guy. He's really
Wow.
putting age on himself.
He must be 29 years old.
He must be. Jeez. So, we're working on that event and PDR World Cup just went by. I spoke to Mark Blem. He said that attendance was a little low, but there were quite a few dent guys there and it seemed like a good event. The Dent Reaper was there. and I heard Maria was there, so that was good to see her out in public.
That's good.
But the cool thing that I know of is there's some really great tools coming out that a lot of people don't know about. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about that'll be debuting at MTE this year. A lot of new innovation from a lot of guys. So I'm excited for that.
The Reaper's got some new tools coming out.
He does. He does. We got some stuff from him, Blem, Anson, Chad from Endeavor, and Todd. I mean, there is a lot of stuff coming out. I think I spoke to Mike from B&D today. So there's a lot of new cool tools coming out. I love seeing the innovation with tools. The innovation of figuring another way to make it easier on us and just some cool stuff, man. I mean, this prop rod and the prop and lock, I still have it, a pair of vice grips with a hoop on the end of it. You know what I mean? Matt from Get a Grip.
Yeah.
Matt from Get a Grip, that Strong Arm XL. I heard him telling a guy at the Mega Media event that I said that it was my tool of the year. I use that tool every single day. The new Reaper rods, those things are badass. They really are. So, we're lucky that we've got guys like this that are coming up with ideas and bringing new tools to market, and I'm enjoying it. We're like I said, Don Cavanaugh says it all the time. We're just scratching the surface.
Yep.
So I appreciate you coming on. Anything else you wanted to go over?
I would like to say I don't have it with me, but the coolest tool that I got at Vegas was Mike Toledo's Dent Desk.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you got that.
Oh, yeah. And the reason I got that, not even for training attack, not for practice for me, I have it mounted on my desk in my office. And every customer that comes in that wants to know if I use ice or a suction cup,
yes,
it's got a light, it's got a flat panel, it's got a rail. I can push a dent, I can glue pull a dent right in my office and show them. I can let them try. It's the coolest thing.
And Ultra makes that, correct?
Ultra makes that, yeah.
What was the price? Do you remember?
Yeah, it's about $1,500 with the light, with some tools, with some hooks. Gives you the opportunity to replicate any type of repair. You can push, you can hang a hanger, you can go through a hole in it. You've got some bracing underneath. You can get in with a whale tail. You can glue pull a rail. You can slide a tool in between it. It's pretty neat. Cool. But to show the customer right there, and if you were going to do not necessarily a trade show, but the Apple Fest, kind of locally, take it with a tent and you just sit there and show people.
Yeah, it's great for an event.
Yeah, I just thought that was more of a marketing tool than it was a practice tool for me. I think it was incredibly well built and thought out, and it's small enough that's like 12 by 12 or 14 by 14. Sits about 8 or 10 inches off your desk. It clamps right on, and it's just the neatest thing. It's got a light that comes with it that'll work either 12 volt or 110. Just change the plug.
Nice.
And it's just pretty cool. I wish I would have brought it, but I think you guys have seen it. Mike's showed it on his channel enough. But if you were only thinking of training, there's a lot of other uses for it.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Dave. Good thinking on that one, man. Good thinking. Matt from Get a Grip saying the SoCal meetup is December 14th. See, these Cali boys, let's get all these quick. The East Coast is a little rougher. We can't really make it happen that easily. Look at that. Scotto's saying it's a great idea. Now tomorrow I'm going to talk to him on the phone. He's going to say, that Dave Fisher's got me spending $1,500 on some stuff that's going to sit on my desk. I can hear it right now. I can hear it. So I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you coming on, Dave.
Thank you, Ryan. It was great to hang with you.
It is, it's super cool to see a guy grow and really take what he's learned and put them in play. So it's nice. You did more than I did from the Mega Media event. You know what I mean? You're definitely taking the keys and making them work. So it's nice to see that. But no, man, it's been great. you know, we've had quite a few guys in here. I appreciate everybody watching. Next week, maybe a giveaway, maybe not. Gonna have a guest on. You guys will enjoy. He's definitely a character. But remember, guys, keep it real. Next week, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard on Facebook or YouTube Live. And I'll see you guys then.
Thanks for hanging with us, guys.